concept is simple. A random name wheel spins and let's say it picks Rob. I spin an arrow and whatever direction it goes in, he will attack. It goes northwest, which is Ganondorf. Whoever wins owns the other's tile, and if you beat someone with more than one tile, you gain control of all of their tiles. Whoever owns the whole board wins. The first match is Wario, and he heads northeast to take on the great king of evil, Ganondorf. All the matches will be held on Battlefield, by the way. As soon as the match starts, a Smash Ball is made available as the only item allowed. Wario gets it and turns into Wario Man. The Smash Ball spawn rate was stupid high for some reason, so Wario ends up 3-stocking Ganondorf for our first match. After turning the item spawn rate from high to low, our next matchup is between the first ever Smash Bros. Third-party characters, as Sonic heads north to take on Snake. The Smash Ball spawns in almost immediately again, and Sonic looks to recreate what Wario just did to Ganondorf in our first matchup. But after spiking Sonic in the air to knock him down to a second stock, while being on his last, Snake grabs the Smash Ball himself and evens the field. By only one stock, Snake was still at 77% damage. Sonic wins. The Smash Ball has now been completely disabled as Pikachu chooses Ike to invade. Pikachu keeps punishing Ike for using his moves at the wrong time, but gets hit by his biggest enemy, Battlefield's platforms blocking his down B. At one point, Ike uses his side B to frame perfect dash through Pikachu's down B without getting hit. Ike gets Pikachu down to his last stock and has a 1-stock lead, but decides to miss his forward air and just fall off the map without even attempting to recover. What was the game plan there? Pikachu keeps punishing Ike for messing up his timing, but can't compare to Ike's raw strength as he sends Pikachu flying, securing his victory and making Pikachu fail his conquest. Fox decides he didn't like what he just saw and looks to avenge his Smash original brother, as he now looks to fight Ike by invading through Pikachu's tile. A special rule that I added for this is that if they invade through someone else's tile, then that person aids the tile owner as a level 1 CPU at a 100% health handicap, making this our first 1v2 matchup of the evening. Ike manages to down Fox's stock first before he even loses Pikachu. 35 seconds later, Pikachu loses his last 2 stocks and dies for the rest of the match. Fox not only continues to punish Ike for missing his attacks, but continues to counter them before he can hit them, allowing him to rack up high damage on Ike extremely quickly, and leave Ike struggling behind. Ike manages to drop Fox to his last stock first, but Fox comes back and destroys Ike at 0 damage taken, making it an even playing field with both men at 1 stock left. Fox continues to rack up insanely high damage on Ike before sending him flying with a forward air, winning him the match with a rather comfortable damage percentage lead. Fox is now in first place, owning 3 total tiles. The king of the jungle, Donkey Kong, looks to settle who's the better DK against his cousin, Diddy Kong. It seems you have another Fox and Ike situation as well. Yes, DK can rack up high damage quickly. He keeps getting chip damaged at long range and constantly sent recovering off the stage by Diddy. In the end, Donkey Kong's shitty recovery is a shitty recovery, leaving Diddy Kong as our winner. Samus heads southwest to challenge Princess Zelda and her alter ego, Sheik. It comes down to the last stock for each, but due to Zelda being a master edge guarder, she manages to defeat Samus without having to turn into Sheik a single time. This is what our board looks like so far after only 6 matches. Up next is the battle between Psychic L names as Lucario invades Lucas. Within 12 whole entire seconds, Lucas sends Lucario off the map, hits him with PK Freeze, and Lucario is already down 1 stock. A near fully charged Psychic Ball by Lucario ties the stocks for only 5 seconds before Lucas immediately tips the scale back into his favor. Lucario manages to get Lucas down to 1 stock, however, at 89%. He's not looking too hot. Lucario manages to make it close, actually really close. However, 1 straight back air from Lucas, and it was all for naught as Lucas wins the match. Zelda decides to reverse the roles on Ganondorf and tries to invade him, leading to her facing off against Wario. Now, guess who doesn't transform a single time throughout the match? That's right, it's Zelda once again. Guess who also absolutely dominated for no reason? That's right, Zelda once again, she gains Wario's empire. Now surely, when Olimar decided to go straight east to invade, he wasn't choosing one of the most intimidating men on the roster, right? Well, he did. It's up next, a canonically 3-inch tall Olimar faces off against Nintendo's embodiment of masculinity, Captain Falcon, and as I finished that, Olimar just won the whole match, only losing 1 stock and only taking 9 damage on his second. Lucas decides nothing is happening on the right side of the board, so he heads northeast to fight Sonic, Empire Leader to Empire Leader. Lucas actually takes the first fall here, however, it's extremely evenly contested. Lucas even gets down to his last stock because he remembers how to use his recovery only to eat a backhand too slow combo from Sonic, while he's only at 74% damage. Lucas retaliates that disrespect by then one-shotting Sonic and winning the game by beating Sonic at the highest percentage anyone goes up to throughout this whole video, 201% damage. He now owns Sonic's empire. Link decides to head to the east as well to free his Smash 64 original sister Samus from the captive hands of the now evil Edge Princess Zelda. She proceeds to spam her side B attack at him while he attempts to recover, leading him to fuck up his recovery. Twice in a row. Poor man went down as the only one who didn't even kill the level 1 ally either. Zelda wins in a squash match, basically. Now, Diddy Kong hates what he just saw, especially as now Zelda was the largest empire on the board and his next door neighbor. So he goes east directly to her tile and declares war on her, and in a shocking twist of events, Sheik is the one who comes to answer Diddy Kong's call. Because of how fast and agile both characters are, most of the match is them jumping at each other like fish out of water and missing every single attack of theirs. It takes as long as Zelda beating Link in the previous match for just one of them to lose their first fall. Diddy launches Sheik into the air, and with them being at a high percentage, it was certain death for Sheik. Then the most terrifying sound was heard in the match. Sheik transformed into Zelda. She was still at a high percentage, don't get me wrong, but Diddy Kong was also now at a high percentage when he finally managed to drop her down one stock. She then proceeds to slip on a banana before catching a peanut bullet mid-air. Turns out Zelda's side B is busted anywhere as she turns into the Edge Queen while not even edge guarding. It shockingly comes down to an even final stock for both, but Zelda wins once again by yeeting Diddy's ass off the stage, gaining his empire and securing her place in first by now 3 more tiles. Meanwhile, in the random subplot of the story, King Dedede heads southeast and faces off against one of my 3 mains in this game, Rob. Dedede must be inspired by Zelda the way he too is turning into an edger. Why the fuck did I put that into the script? It came down to a full stock difference as both were over 100, and as much as I wanted Rob to pull the upset out of nowhere, it wasn't meant to be, as Masahiro Sakurai claims him and wins the match, taking his tile. In another random subplot, Prince Marth decides to Control-C, Control-V, exactly what King Dedede did as he invades Pokemon Trainer in the southeast. And he fucking loses. Wolf says enough is enough, and if this is where the big boys play, then he isn't here to play, as he goes east right into Lucario's tile, which is owned by Lucas. However, he keeps forgetting that Lucario isn't the main threat and keeps going after him instead of Lucas. Lucas is even so disappointed he kills himself to make up the matchup slightly more even. Wolf seems like he has a chance, but by the time he gets Lucas to his last stock, it's too late and Lucas sends him packing with ease. Kirby decides to joyfully head down to the south, and oh boy, I sure do hope the tile directly under his doesn't house one of the most broken characters in the game, let alone the entirety of Super Smash Bros. As a series itself. The Brawl AI, however, is stupid and cannot behold Meta Knight's true power, leading to him taking the first fall. He then, within 5 seconds of respawning, kills Kirby and says, "Is now a bad time to say that I actually made Meta Knight in Brawl?" Anyway, he only takes 96% damage for the rest of the match as he neutral airs Kirby into oblivion. Brawl Meta Knight wins Rool. Edge Master Zelda has a hard time picking if she wants to go east or southeast, but decides to go southeast and faces off against the Ice Climbers. She had remembered how to transform into Sheik. Now we're entering really dangerous territory. However, she remembers all her raw damage isn't with them and transforms back as soon as they start getting their ass kicked by literal children, I think. Zelda kills Nana and then proceeds to literally sit there and watch as Popo falls to death, not even moving or doing anything, just standing there. She then wins with East to rub salt into the wound, or in this case, pour salt on the ice. This video is the first time Dominance and Brawl Zelda have ever gone together in the same sentence. After 17 total matches, this is what our board looks like. Zelda and Sheik in first with 8 total tiles, Lucas in second with 5, Fox in third with 3, Pokemon Trainer, Meta Knight, Olimar, and King Dedede all share fourth with 2 tiles each, and everyone else is in last with only 1 tile owned. Our 18th matchup now is Princess Peach decides to go north and murder her lover Mario's brother Green Mario. Why is she still a princess when she is such a major queen who slays Luigi like a girl boss as she floats across the stage? Just a bitch slap into the blast zone. Luigi tries swinging Peach like his name was Cesaro, but because of the damage percentage difference, it doesn't work, and Peach ends up floating over him just to bitch slap him to death again. Gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss. I believe in the Princess Peach Empire. Uh-oh, looks like God himself is hungry, and it looks like he's in the mood for some dog. To everyone's shock and my disappointment, Meta Knight gets the ever-loving shit kicked out of him, and Luke is very nearly 3 stocks this man. So now the video is no longer super ultra predictable, because in the second match, the big, bad, scary Brawl Meta Knight has his empire dethroned by a kid from a game that is more well known for never coming out in America than the actual game itself is. Zelda and Ganondorf. One is in Smash, the other is in Zelda canon. Both are known as the greatest villains of each, respectively, and with regular Link being embarrassingly humiliated by her and Samus, Toon Link comes in and says, nah, I'd win. The Edge Goddess herself, Zelda, is finally defeated, and Toon Link, who went from being cornered on all sides, is now dead first place. Well, it did come down to the final stock for both. One ended with 36% damage taken, and the other one fucking died and lost everything they ever had. Yoshi then decides that he can take it all from Toon Link and embarrass him, but Toon Link beats him and adds another title to his newly won empire. I then went to bed because it was 4 a.m. and would complete it when I woke up. It is also now 4:30 a.m. for me right now as I am writing this, and I will also go do the same thing right now. So good night, everyone. I then woke up and got around to finishing it at 5:37 p.m. and it is now 3:17 p.m. for script writing Chris as well. So let's continue. Peach decides to do what Yoshi failed to do and invades Diddy Kong's tile. At first, I accidentally pressed random stage and got taken to a random custom stage I made called Piness. And then when I restarted the match, I forgot to give Diddy his 100% damage handicap, which honestly really sucks because without the damage handicap, Peach actually would have won surprisingly. But on the third attempt, she did exactly what Yoshi failed to do and fails as well, giving Toon Link another 2 tiles to his empire, or in other words, a little over 1/3 of the entire roster was under Toon Link's control, with Mario and Bowser trapped in the northwest and southwest corners of the board, respectively. Uh-oh, looks like it's about to be the battle of 2 empires you more than likely forgot existed. King Dedede gets an early lead on Olimar, doing better than Captain Falcon already, but as soon as Rob dies, it's GG's for Dedede. Even though it does come down to the last stock, Olimar still manages to wipe the floor with the king and gain another 2 tiles to his throne. Falco decides that he wants to head to the west, but doesn't realize a neutered version of God and the kid who made God his bitch awaits him. Yeah, Lucas 2 stocks Falco with relative ease. And here we have it, ladies, gentlemen, and creatures all over the gender spectrum. The battle between the 2 scariest empires yet. For our 25th battle, we have a true Godzilla versus Kong. Lucas gets invaded through Meta Knight's tile by the one, the only, Olimar. Meta Knight ends up killing himself as Olimar and Lucas are both still in their first stock with very small differences in damage from each other. Lucas manages to recover well with both on second stock, even baiting out Olimar to throw a purple Pikmin right off the stage. When Lucas goes down, Olimar goes down soon after due to how close and competitive the match is. The battle goes down to the final stock when Lucas fucks up his PK Thunder. He could have just jumped back on stage with ease, but he decides to use the recovery option, and when he does, he ends up being flung headfirst into the bottom of battlefield and then being spiked down off the stage, killing him at only 53% damage. Olimar now owned Lucas's empire, going from 4 spaces to now tied for first place as he owns 12 tiles. Pit decides to pull a Yoshi versus Toon Link and invades Olimar to very similar results, now putting Olimar in first with 13 tiles. This is what our board looks like now after 26 matches. Olimar in first with 13 tiles, Toon Link in second with 12 tiles, Fox in third with 3 tiles, Pokemon Trainer in fourth with 2 tiles, and Mario, Bowser, Jigglypuff, Ness, and Mr. Game & Watch all in last with their only starting tile left. Jigglypuff decides she wants to jump to first and challenges Olimar and Lucario. Lucario himself kills her and gets her down to her last stock before he even dies. Yeah, behind Link versus Zelda and Samus, this is easily the biggest squash match we've had so far. Olimar wins easily. Toon Link must be realizing that the end of the video is coming soon and decides he doesn't want an upset victory, so he heads to the southwest corner to face off against Bowser in a 1v1. This matchup is so epic that my Dolphin emulator loses frames for a few seconds. Bowser keeps doing heavy damage, but just can't keep up with the hyperactive kid. Bowser also keeps like turning around, facing away from Link, and then breathes fire for a split second as he jumps. I have no clue what he's trying to cook with that forbidden tech. Bowser struggles to hit any of his attacks, allowing Toon Link to win while only on his second stop. So you all know how I said that Olimar vs. Lucas and Mega Knight was like this video's Godzilla vs. Kong, right? Well, this is essentially the John Cena versus The Rock at WrestleMania 28 of the video. Olimar decides to invade Toon Link. Olimar pays zero attention to Toon Link as he deletes the ice climbers from the game almost immediately. He then doubles down on that by making Toon Link be the one to lose the first stock. Like Olimar vs. Lucas, the match seems to be almost always very close, with Toon Link being at the damage disadvantage the most. That is until Olimar misses his recovery by barely an inch, causing Toon Link to take the lead by one whole stock. It comes down to the final stock, but now Olimar is at a massive damage disadvantage. It is a constant back and forth as the first place Empire right now looks to double in size and take second place out of the running, but he fails to account for something. Toon Link's up air as he spikes Olimar not once but twice to not only win the game, but double his Empire and comfortably take first place. This battle was so epic it caused my emulated Wiimote and Dolphin to completely break for some reason. Toon Link now owns 27 tiles, or 77% of the entire Brawl roster, with second place now being Fox's rather small 3-tile Empire and Pokemon's Trainer's 2-tile Empire being third. Well, Pokemon Trainer now knows that he needs to get stronger to even look like a threat to Toon Link, so he heads directly east onto Ike's tile. I forgot that Brawl Pokemon Trainer had the whole tired mechanic where after using a certain Pokemon for too long, they get slower and do less damage to force you to tag in and out your different Pokemon. That probably comes into play as Squirtle, who was dominated early on, then began to get the shit kicked out of him. Charizard seems like the biggest threat to Fox, but by the time it comes down to the last stock, Charizard was already at 150% damage, meaning it was an easy win for Fox as he now had a grand total of 5 tiles under his belt. My boy, and one of my favorite characters in all of Smash, Mr. Game & Watch, finally steps out from the shadows and challenges Ike's tile, just like in the previous match. Ike dies within 3 seconds of the match beginning. Game & Watch, even if the match was even, was always in the lead somehow and pulled out a giant box out of nowhere to send Fox flying. Mr. Game & Watch now is in second place by taking Fox's Empire and has 6 total tiles. Toon Link goes north, and I had a hard time deciding who he should challenge. Most of his Empire would say to challenge Game & Watch, but I'd rather save him for last as I have something special planned for my finale. So to fill in some missing space, Mario finally gets to do something as Toon Link decides to invade him. Mario starts off strong in the lead but meets a deadly fate known as Toon Link's up air, up smash, and up tilt attacks. It comes down to a very even final stock between the two. Maybe Mario could actually pull an upset and take first place in one of the last 3 matches. Toon Link pulls out a boomerang to block one fireball and then quickly shoots an arrow to block another. What the hell is this task level gameplay? The Brawl AI went from dumbasses to actually competitive-like gameplay, but unfortunately for Mario, he meets the same fate many others have and dies to a Toon Link attack done in the up direction. Ness is the last fighter who hasn't gone yet and invades Game & Watch from the north, which is Ike's tile. Why does Ike keep getting invaded? Ness and Ike both go down to their second stock at the same time, so this match is already a good sign for our semifinal. Ness and Ike then go down to their final stock at the same time. What is with Smash Originals and sucking ass at 2v1 matches? Now, as a Game & Watch man myself, I must say that this is truly one of the most beautiful clips of all time and brings a tear to my eye and genuinely left me shocked and hyped up as fuck for the final match. Nothing warms my heart like seeing a Judgment 9 kill someone who already would have died from a normal attack otherwise. And here we are, our final match. For this match, I decided to change the rules a little bit. It'll now be 5 stocks and on Final Destination. Toon Link and Mr. Game & Watch also both get to bring a level 1 CPU at 100% damage ally, making this final fight a 2v2. Game & Watch chooses the person he gained his entire empire from, with Fox being his ally. Toon Link decides to choose the strongest captain he knows, Lucas. Here we are, the final battle for Smash Bros. Brawl Imperialism. Lucas dies within 5 seconds. Lucas then dies once again, now being 2 stocks behind everyone else, falling off hard from his pre-Olimar Empire days. Fox then proceeds to get Toon Link up-aired. A quick side swipe and Fox dies within 5 seconds, meaning both allies are now down 2 stocks. Lucas actually does manage to use his recovery for offense, which is shocking. I'm surprised that he doesn't have PTSD after last time. After a side smash from Game & Watch, Toon Link is the first captain to lose a stock. Lucas gets tackled by Game & Watch so hard he goes flying from the right side of Final Destination all the way to the left side kill box. Toon Link launches Fox, and Lucas gracefully dies once again to fucking up his recovery. Lucas then spawns in on his last stock with a catch-up Final Smash ready, I forgot that was a thing, and manages to take Game & Watch's first stock and knocks Fox down to his last. He gets up smashed out of the match for his troubles. Fox then gets up aired out of the match, meaning it is down to just the captains on their second stock apiece, with only a small damage difference. Game & Watch quickly down smashes Toon Link down to his third of 5 stocks. Game & Watch, now at the full stock lead, decides to almost kill himself before coming back on stage. Game & Watch's ground game is insane in this game, but Toon Link prioritizes those who give themselves or him time to jump, and quickly evens up their stocks. He then proceeds to do it again, downing Game & Watch to his 4th stock. He then proceeds to die 5 seconds later, making it even 0% with 2 stocks left. They both continue staying very, very close together in their damage difference, but Toon Link begins spamming up tilts and down throwing his opponent into oblivion before down tilting Game & Watch taking the lead, this time with only 62% damage taken, meaning Game & Watch is at a huge disadvantage. He then proceeds to kill Toon Link at 0%, meaning we have a final stock showdown of 0% for both fighters. He takes the first hit, but due to some rightly timed dodging, he manages to once again close the gap easily. He is then thrown up and dread is beginning to sink in. I am rooting so hard for this man to win. Yes, I am the narrator, and yes, I am biased. Even when he successfully evades, he continues to miss all of his attacks, allowing Link to just keep building up and building up more and more damage on him. He manages to close the gap with a few successful attacks, but a neutral air from Link sends him flying, and then Toon Link is the winner of the first ever Smash Bros. Brawl Imperialism, and one day, my children, one day you shall rise from the ashes. That is, if you guys want to see it. So I hope you do, because I would absolutely love to do another one of these. I know most people do Smash Ultimate stuff for stuff like this, but I mainly wanted to do Brawl as it's my favorite Smash game, and I wanted to stick out a little bit. So please let me know if you want more in the comments below. And with that out of the way, thank you all so much for watching this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share the video if you liked it that much. And as always, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye, guys!